Kenya's real estate market is facing a crisis. While climate change and poor construction standards stall growth locally, developers in Zanzibar are flipping the script using sustainability to drive record-breaking sales. Now, our reporter Hibak Said visited Fumba town, East Africa's first eco-city and the future home of the world's tallest timber building, to explore how nature is becoming the region's most powerful selling point. Take a look.
Beyond the concrete jungle of Nairobi's city and past the roaring tides of the Indian Ocean lies a small town at the edge of Zanzibar making waves in the real estate sector. Fumba town, once a dead end to a tourist-rich island, commonly known for its rocky coral ground, was previously dismissed as the eyesore of the archipelago until innovation struck, and it became a hotbed for investors and the real estate sector.
We believe that timber, as the only regrowing construction material and the oldest construction material, right? They found homes 400 years old in southern Tanzania that were built with timber already. So it's very old. But I know the perception is there that this is actually the building material for the poor, right? But that's not true. So in many places of the world now we are changing timber, we're engineering the timber we call it engineered timber. Examples are cross-laminated timber or glue-lam, where we can replace concrete slabs and columns with timber that are just as strong, but they're much more lightweight.
From 2016, CPS Africa had transformed the shrub-infested Fumba town to towering skyscrapers and premium listings, catering to a niche clientele. Sustainability, once dismissed as a luxury, is now a selling point.
We believe timber is the right way to go in terms of construction. We have to change the way we construct today, we build today, with a renewable, regrowing building material that stores carbon dioxide and doesn't emit carbon dioxide, which is the biggest cause for our climate change we have today.
The idea is to create spaces for people where we can do things a little bit better, because as a species we have struggled within cities. It's very hot, it's very noisy, there's hardly any nature, and we thought that the next generation, the decision makers of the future, are not aware of a natural system. So the idea was, if we can create these new towns a little bit greener, where we can have some access to food, to medicine, to maybe laundry, natural laundry detergent, we can introduce the youth to Mother Nature, and this way, when they become decision makers, can make better decisions standing up for her.
Permaculture, a method for designing integrated systems based on the idea of sustainable development, has been used to build Fumba Eco Town from the ground up, turning it into a self-sustaining budding borough.
Composting is almost like making a bonfire. You need carbon, which is brown, dry material, or the wood when you make a fire. You need you need the flame, which would be nitrogen, which is it could be green cuttings. It can be manure, cow, chicken, goat. You mix them. You add a little bit of moisture. We put them in piles 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter, and we turn that pile every 2 days. Because a fire, when it burns, it needs oxygen. So we turn them to bring in oxygen, and after 21 days, we got a very, very rich organic fertilizer, which then helps us to basically create naturally a healthy and strong forest system within the town.
What was once simply a flair of architecture is now becoming a penchant for sales, as the team records the highest sales from the units created entirely from timber, a building material once only reserved for the lower class, but which is quickly becoming a major bargaining chip for these units. Contrary to the belief of many, the use of timber for construction is actually sustainable and environment-friendly.
So you're saving in cost in construction because you can build much faster, you can build much lighter, and it's a beautiful living atmosphere inside, because timber has a very, very nice characteristics of being very soundproof, of being very good heat insulator, right? When you cook at home, you put a piece of timber underneath, the heat doesn't go through.
Zanzibar had a policy of 2024. Then Zanzibar had a policy, an act of 2018, and now we have an act of 2023, Act number 10. That showed the progress and the willingness of the government to change its own policies, its own act in regards to our investors' demand. As I said before, we are always discussing with our investors the challenges that they are facing, their demand, their request, their ideas, their bid, which are coming to us.
The Zanzibar Investment Authority have not only embraced the concept, but have passed policies granting citizenship and work perks to investors who meet their threshold.
Because of the success that we see here, it also has been like a benchmark or a blueprint for most of the other investors that are coming in on the island, but also because of the aggressive marketing and branding campaign that has been going on globally, conducted by the CPS.
It's really this huge environmental impact, what it has to use timber instead of concrete. Even that timber is a renewable resource, so we can grow trees all the time, right? I think everything what is regarded with concrete building is limited, building sand is limited. So, but this is the big advantage on the environment impact.
Unlike the stone and mortar skyscrapers of Nairobi, the timber houses of Zanzibar have a naturally cooling sensation, giving a relief to residents taking shade from the sweltering heat of the island. The opposite is also true. While the rains and cold would easily permeate through stone buildings, timber houses work better to regulate the harsh extremes of the changing weather of the world.
It has been able to be a huge draw wherever you go. One of the things that have to be mentioned is this model town CPS. So it is something that we are very much proud of as a government, because of the success that we see, but because of the model that it has, especially when it comes to sustainable living practices and consideration of the environment. And so this is something that we would hopefully in the near future hope to replicate it across the board in other parts of the island.
The aim now is to build Burj Zanzibar, a towering magnificence of timber commissioned to be completed before 2030. The 28-story apartment will be the tallest timber building in the world.
So we believe we have to build with timber. So how do we convince people that this is not the building material for the poor? So we decided to build the highest timber tower in the world, a high-rise building 100 meters high on 27 floors from timber here in Zanzibar, showing the world that this timber material is a luxury product, it's a fantastic high-end material that can carry big buildings and be sold for millions of dollars from people around the world.
The town feeds itself and builds itself, and the cyclical new lifestyle has created a circular economy of sorts.
That needs space. So urban development has to go vertical. We have to go higher to cater for the demand and the need of houses and apartments we need for the people.
But could this be replicated in Nairobi? And is it possible to advance a positive policy environment which promotes sustainable and green investments? And while the potential remains immense, differing policy arrangements might make this jewel of the city in the sea only a reality in the neighboring countries.
With the existence of a 4-story building made entirely of timber here in Zanzibar, the dream of having an eco-town in Kenya seems possible. But with the policy issues in Nairobi, would this be applicable? Hibak Said for TV 47.
Thank you so much, Hibak. That is fantastic reporting there. We appreciate that fantastic feature.